Hello everyone, welcome back to Look of a Kind. I was going to an event and wanted to give a gift, but not just any gift. I wanted it to be personalized and one of a kind. After thinking long and hard about it, I came up with a three-dimensional letter H covered with material. Watch how I put it together and what I did to get the outcome of this video's thumbnail image. I chose this black faux leather material with a reversed felt side. This is half a yard from Hobby Lobby for $14.99 per yard. You saw the paper mache letter H earlier. This was $7.99. Before I got started, I got a sheet of newspaper to create a pattern and to test out how I wanted to position the fabric on the H. I did not want to mess up the material I had. It was a lot better than me testing it out on the fabric first and then cutting and it being a really big problem. The first thing I did was lay out the material to determine how much material I was going to use. Once I figured that out, that is when I went ahead and marked the reverse side of the material. Apparently, I ended up not recording me cutting this part and starting to cut down these lines, but we're going to keep it moving. I did not cut along all of the lines because some were marked for folding. Boss baby! Boss baby! I used tacky glue to adhere the felt side of the fabric to the letter. This worked well, and it also gave a little wiggle room to manipulate the fabric before drying. At this point, I believe I became cut happy and did not realize what I was doing until I stopped to check how the fabric would cover the middle part of the H. No. I messed up big time. I made a mistake by cutting the fabric in the middle. I could have gotten away with cutting one side, but I cut both. As you will see, I am trying to find another way to move forward. Because there is no longer any fabric to cover the middle part of the H, I cut some pieces to go into the corners. This is to hide the base of the H. Now that I am somewhat back on track, I am gluing the sides of the H. If you notice, there is about a 1/4 inch of fabric around the H that is being glued down. This is so the fabric for the top of the H and the bottom of the H can overlap each other. Although the tacky glue was great for gluing the fabric to the letter, it was not great for gluing fabric to fabric. That is where the glue gun comes into play. That is what kept the fabric held together when it overlapped each other. Another issue that I ran into was the bottom and the top part of the H. I was trying to figure out how I could fold the fabric. I wanted the H to stand, and I also wanted the fabric to be flushed. I cut the corners so that when the folds overlapped each other, it would not be too much fabric. Too much fabric would cause problems with folding and laying flat against the letter. What I had to do first was finish the sides of the H so that I could fold the bottom and the top part of the H properly. I figured this out when I did one of the legs. Here is a better view of how I used the tacky glue and the glue gun. Fabric to the letter for the tacky glue and fabric to fabric for the glue gun. I also trimmed the excess fabric with scissors as I glued. A whole lot cleaner. As I said earlier, an issue that I had was the bottom and the top part of the H, more so the bottom, and you will see why in a couple of seconds. Stand. It would not stand. What I discovered later was the folds for the bottom of the first leg that I did was not cut and folded correctly. Put some on the bottom of that. Okay. Now we know what we're doing now. Got a better idea. That's perfect though. Just gotta clean up that side right there. Now back to the middle. The solution that I came up with was cutting 2 rectangular pieces that would fit on the bottom and the top of the middle. This was the best fix that would prevent the raw edge from showing from the front. I used a black paint marker to conceal the glue from the glue gun. Although it was clear, I wanted it to be black. I also used the marker on the raw edges. Alrighty, I completed the H. This is what it looks like now. It looks good from the front. The only problem I have is the execution of this part. I think I could have done better, but you tell me, how do you think I should have executed this as far as this part here with it still being seamless right here and flushed. And then this is the top, so the tops look fine. Top looks fine, but this bothers me a lot right here. I don't like that, but it's because of the mistake I made when I cut. And I consider this to be the front, and this shouldn't have been the front. I mean, it worked for the sides, perfect, but I don't know. This right here I don't like this at all. And if I were to put a strip over this part, then it would have shown, the seam would have shown right here. And I didn't like that either. So that's what we have. And then on top of here, the bottom, the feet, this was the first one I did. I didn't like how that came out, so it causes this not to stand. It leans, so now I have to create some type of weight or something down here to make this stand. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and add what I initially wanted to add to this. This is what I got from Joann's, and initially I wanted to make tassels, but that wasn't going to work because I couldn't find any tassels in the color that I wanted. And then trying to find some floss in these colors just was not working. So now I was just left to try to turn this into something on here. So what I'm going to do, and I came up with this, I practiced this earlier, so that's why I'm going to be able to do this very easily. So basically I just looped it from the bottom and I'm making sure that the white stays on the outside the whole time. That's what I want. And we also want to make sure this is even. Tighten this. I want this knot to be in the middle. I want to do, now that I have it like that, I'm going to take this. We're going to go under, but we're going to this way and then this. The ends of the ropes had tape around it that was hard to remove, so I decided to cut them off. I tried clear nail polish to seal one of the ends, but it was not strong enough to stop the unraveling. I also tried burning, but it did not work because of the material. As you see, I ended up sealing with the glue gun. Dried clear but essentially it's going to stand just like that. Now let's work on the feet. After playing for hours, well, not hours, but for about an hour, I finally figured out how I can cause this to, or make this stand. So I made this side, this piece of cardboard to be in the front. I made it thicker for this side. That way the weight would shift towards the back. And on this side, I've already glued down. I made it, it was a thinner piece of cardboard, and I shifted the weight, so the weight shifts to the front. That way, now, there we go. Now it stands on its own. It stands on its own. I have a mess around here to clean up too. But I'm tired. Now what I'm about to do is try to create some felt feet, and it's going to do that simply by cutting a small little piece to go underneath. That'll kind of help mask those. Alright, I'm not going to show me putting this on, but what I did was I took the faux leather and I used the reverse side, which is like a felt side. And I put some hot glue on the back for this side, and I'm going to do the same for this side. I didn't go all the way to the edge because then it would show the seam, and I didn't want that to happen. Like the seam would be at the front, so I didn't want that. So I'm going to glue this on, and here we have it. I am finally done. I hope this helps with your decorating.